People, we have to have this conversation. Why is HIV on the rise in Houston, Texas, and Atlanta? It's number one in Houston throughout the whole United States. It's more HIV cases in Houston, Texas than the state of Texas and all 50 states combined. Atlanta's on the rise too. I don't know what's going on, what you people are doing down there. I don't know if it's people who've already lived in Houston, in Atlanta, or if it's transplants, people who moved there within the last 5 years, new people. I really don't know. But this is serious. We can't keep spreading this disease. We should have it under more of a control. Unfortunately, there's no cure. Some say it is. We should have it under more of a control at this point. And people, I would think, will try and be more responsible. This is crazy. And it's not safe. And you definitely, as a woman, don't want to be pregnant and pass it, the HIV to your baby through childbirth. They would probably end up doing a C-section instead if you tested positive. But how is this disease back on the rise? And it's a heavy black population in Houston, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia. And so we have to use protection, people. Protection. Or if you just with that one person and you all are not using protection, it's just only me having sex with that one person. If you all in some type of unofficial open thing, if you all gonna make the one person where you all don't use condoms, and then understand that when you all go sleep with other people, you do use protection, I guess do that. It's best to just be with one person, especially if you're living in the Houston or Atlanta areas, because this is serious. Anyone visiting, you may want to be careful about who you engage with, unless you came with your significant other to Atlanta or Houston. I'm not saying it's 100% everybody's infected in Houston and Atlanta. No, it's people who I'm sure are HIV negative. But with these cases being on the rise, I don't really even know what to think of it. We got to be safe out here. You all see the thumbnails of a Trojan condom. Go pick some up. Women and men, don't depend on the other person you're about to have sex with to get the condom for you. Please get it. And if you all is just you two having sex with each other and you're not using condoms, just keep it to you two. Don't expose no other outside partner to what you all have going on, especially if you're living in these two cities, Atlanta and Houston, because you might open up yourself to that HIV, and there is no cure supposedly at the moment. I'm also blaming it on this over-sexualized way we live. Everything is sex, sex, sex. It's in the music, it's in movies. People are being over-sexed. You see it on social media. People want sex right now. You got dating apps, you got Tinder, all that swipe left, swipe right, OnlyFans, internet, adult content, is free to get to that. And you got women and men out here who are just over-sexualized right now. Sometimes children get over-sexualized just growing up, stuff they're watching. For the boys, stuff that their mom might wear. And the daughters too, just watching maybe inappropriate clothing that mom has on. I don't really think dad can wear anything that'll over-sexualize his son or daughter. But, if he's present, he needs to say something in that particular household. So I'm also blaming that. We are an over-sexed culture. And so people want to do things so fast, move fast, and then sleep with whomever. And then you have these consequences out here. I'm surprised that HIV is on the rise in number of cases. This disease has been around for a while now, and you would think people would be a little bit more responsible with this sexual behavior in terms of the fact that you can still catch this thing. And now you see these cases and they keep going up. This is ridiculous. There's no reason HIV should be on the rise in Atlanta, Georgia, and Houston, Texas. And Houston is number one. I don't know exactly who's to blame in terms of the people. Is it new people that have moved in? That's something to look at. And like I say, we're oversexed. Everything is sexual, the music. And so people are just taking that and running with it. And then just thinking about pleasure before actually thinking. Just thinking with what's between your legs, the women and the men. We have to, stop all of that and kind of sort of find some way to get these cases down. It's scary. And I have family members in Houston. I don't have any family in Atlanta, but I do have family members in Houston. And so these statistics about these HIV cases being on the rise in both cities, it's not good. And I'm sure the people now hopefully should be aware of the rise in cases, and they're taking the steps to really protect themselves. Get some condoms, protection. Go to the gas station, Walgreens, wherever. Purchase a pack. Whichever one of you all have to do it. Lady can do it, man can do it. So you all are protecting yourselves from what's out there. That's the only way we can get those cases down, is to stop spreading the actual disease. So I don't get what's going on and why people aren't using protection, and it continues to just spread and the cases rise. And we can't have that. And then for the children that live in Atlanta and Houston, what type of message does that send to them? That the adults in these two cities are, experiencing a high level of infection. That, this is unacceptable. And so we have to do better. We have to be more careful. I know no one wants to contract HIV at all. It's not a disease you want to get contracted with. But we have to get out here and be more careful, ask more questions. Hopefully people are being honest and straight up about their status in Houston and Atlanta. We don't need this to spread anymore at all. Because I keep hearing stories about it. And so it's people traveling. It's got to be probably a combination of that. New people moving there, already infected, may not know they're infected. I would suggest all adults living in Atlanta and Houston, to go and know their status. And no sex while you're waiting on the results to come back. And once you get the results, you really need to keep them on you so you can let the new person know, if you decide to get with someone, hey, this is where I'm at, I'm clean. Don't go into this blindly in the bedroom with someone not knowing, and then just thinking, well, ignorance is bliss. You don't want that disease after the fact. So my prayers go out to Houston and Atlanta, and hoping that they can get this HIV virus under control and not having, these cases continue to rise, because, it's scary. And if you just already got a person and you live in either city, just you and that person have an understanding, and then just mess with each other. If you all don't use condoms, then okay, it's just you two, so obviously you can't make a disease appear out of thin air, you two are good. So we have to be careful if you're living in Atlanta or Houston right now. We got to have more sexual discipline, and then just hold off, back off, because of all other things to worry about in the world. To have HIV trying to creep back up, that's not a good look. So to anyone living in the Houston and Atlanta area, if you know more about the situation, if you know someone who's been infected with it, put it down in the comments, and just give a little bit more insight about what's going on in these two cities and this issue with the HIV virus. Put it down in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the video. And I want to hear your honest thoughts and opinions on HIV/AIDS. And what do you think about the cases being on the rise? Are you surprised? If you stay in the Atlanta, Georgia, or Houston, Texas area, definitely comment. I like to hear you got boots on the ground. What's being said? Because we don't need this virus taking people out. We really don't. And like I said, the best way to prevent that, either protection or just abstinence right now. No need to be sleeping around with any and everybody, especially in those two cities. Because I think you have people who may have it and don't even know they have it, and they mess around and leave out of Texas or Georgia and start spreading it to other people in other cities. And so, we need to get that HIV definitely contained in Houston and Atlanta. That way no one else gets infected, gets contracted with the disease. And so it's definitely something to think about, and to be just careful out here, sexually careful, and actually give a care about your sexual health. Don't be out here sleeping around. Please use protection. And if you have family and friends in Atlanta or Houston, check on them if need be. And you just never know who has it and how it's getting spread around in those two cities. And again, subscribe to the channel, FactsOrFeelings, all one word, no spaces. Put that in the YouTube search engine, and this channel comes right up. Stay HIV negative and use protection, no matter who has to buy it, the woman or the man. And let's try and get these numbers down on these cases in both of these cities. This is out of control. I'm out.